I can go to something else? I don't have the remote. Let's go on to... That's straight on to you guys as well.
Just give that, Jono.
Yes.
Sorry, if you've got time, can you pump up the port
Sure.
fuels?
We're live.
Okay, welcome everybody to race 5 of the spring series for the 18-foot skiffs. It's not so sunny a day here on Sydney Harbour, and with bucket loads of rain, it's causing a little bit of havoc for us on this tin ship with lots of electronics and whatever. So we're just going to battle through the best we can. And with us again today, Andrew Buckland. Good to have you aboard, Bucko. Had a pretty rotten, wet day out in the ocean yesterday, I believe. Sounds like you got a bit of a cold, dude.
We got full value for our full water value, at least for our money, mate. It was one of those days.
So what's going to happen here? It's breeze has been all over the shop since I left this morning to come and get the camera cat over to Double Bay. It was in the southeast at one stage, really good 15-knot nor'easter at one stage, then easterly, then east nor'east, and it's all over the shop, brother.
Funny looking map, Warwick. Little low pressure cell to the northwest of Sydney, inland of Sydney, and an occluded warm front hanging off the eastern edge of that. So if it's gone to the right, it's because the occluded front's got here, and that's probably what's occurred. And then it's probably stable now at around 080 or 070, plus a bit of bend from the harbour. So
what do you call it? A colluded high?
An occluded front.
Occluded front.
So a cold front joined to a bit of warm front.
Okay.
Interesting proposition for the east coast of Australia. But yeah, we'll think the breeze might just build a little and bend left as the day goes on. But
yeah,
take that with 80 grains of salt. Big ebb tide, last of it. Tide's low at pretty much the end of the race, but plenty of rain, so fresh water coming with the ebb tide.
Yeah, there's a little bit of north in this already, just a touch of it. It's we're going to sort of hang down the pin end today and get a perspective of that. Got a new drone pilot on board that Aero Media's brought along to train us up and stick with us hopefully for the majority of the season.
And quickly, Warwick, your tip for the day?
It's going to be a tricky day.
Correct.
It's going to be a very tricky day. See, Steve Quigley's on 3 minutes, so he's been knocked around a bit. Like, he's been sailing very well.
The kitchen maker, indeed.
Yeah, I'll back the young bloke in Vintech, but he's got Peter Mackey with him from the 16-foot skiff fame on the sheet, and second outing for Ollie Smith.
Jets, your view of proceedings?
Ragged famished today.
So Chits has gone the rags.
I'm allowed 2 boats because, you know.
Pretty even. Looking down the line, Bucko looks pretty even.
Yeah, 30 seconds to go. Panasonic and Triple M. Well, there you go. Lining up, and we'd expect that this side of the course where the camera boat is, the leeward end will be favoured. There's a boat coming downwind which seems pleasantly oblivious. So he's gone for the recall.
Yeah, right.
Abandoned ship because the...
Well, it looks pretty biased to the pinner.
Well, it's a pretty good line, but the bias of being out into the current is probably, you know, the most important factor.
A lot of water running, huh?
Yeah, exactly. So... So we're not sure why the general recall has been signalled, but the cruising boat immediately adjacent to us may have been part of the cause.
Yeah, interesting. Anyway, a few guys have persevered and going to just sort of testing it out, but geez, it's very light, Bucko. This is going to be potentially a pretty painful day.
Game of find the wind, so we'd expect the most wind to be pretty much in the middle of the harbour, wouldn't we? You know.
Well, I mean, we've been going in reverse a bit, and we kept getting pushed up the harbour, so that's how much tide there is.
Yeah, good 2 knots here.
Yeah.
Pretty strong for Sydney Harbour.
I'm just trying to get our port engine operational, folks. So if you hear any beeping, that's the issue. don't think it's going to play ball, Bucko. So we're down to one engine. So we have to swap the heads out for manoeuvrability. Being greatly compromised. This will be a long day, mate.
Well,
They
the
don't
only good
shorten
thing
it.
is that the tide's taken them upwind, I think, Warwick. You know, that will
Yes.
shorten the beat because it's a pretty long beat in this course. But
Absolutely.
the committee set the start line effectively halfway up the beat. So
Yeah, I think it's the bottom of the tide at about 4.
yeah, exactly right. But we'd expect the flow will keep going out for a while after
Yeah,
the.
well, all the rain too, right,
Yep,
Bucko?
exactly. So we wouldn't expect the current to actually change direction till after 5
Okay,
o'clock.
all right, we're in sequence.
Yeah, I think it's brilliant.
Just inside 4
Started
minutes.
to
In
get
there.
over that, you know, when they finally do start.
So looking at the screen now,
It's
will I,
that.
No,
will I follow
we're
them
gone.
up to the right, top
All
right?
right, we're down
Yeah,
to,
you follow
definitely
them
down to
that
one
way.
engine, let's say.
Well, it's a good day to be down.
So they're going to.
Yeah, exactly. At least we can keep up with them. It's not a 20 knot nor'easter where they're doing 20 odd knots downwind.
So if we follow them, and we'll follow them as well.
Now, the fleet having a bit of a struggle to get back to the line because of the strength of the ebb tide, and we see
If you just
a couple of
follow
boats.
Well, maybe the reason was, Bucko, because there is so much tide, it pushed the fleet across and there was a heap of boats over. Maybe that was the reason for the
So
general.
when that comes
No, they weren't over, and he
that's
signalled it with about,
that-
what did I say, 40 seconds to go or something
Yeah,
like
I-
that.
No,
I
no,
was
when you're
Focus on
those
other
wheels come
stuff,
up.
to be honest.
Well,
Yep.
You know, when you push something comes up here, gimbal, and
Oh, does it really?
yeah, every now and again.
There he
Well,
goes.
not a lot of traffic.
Oh, okay, sorry, that was the...
Well,
what I'm doing now doesn't come up?
Pretty dull old day, so at least I don't. Not a lot of people coming out to enjoy the sunshine, so
No,
that's,
no, that's
at least
correct.
something. It's going to help them a little bit, not so much boat wash.
yeah. So, Warwick, something we didn't talk about last Sunday. We had a pretty busy day, I recall, but we were going to talk a little about the Volvo Ocean Race when
Yep.
David Witt and Tommy
Tommy
Clout
Clout.
from the Appliances Online sailing the Scallywag, and they were a bit disappointed with their 5th in the first leg, but said they learnt a lot.
Yep.
The next leg from Lisbon to Cape Town, 7,000 miles, starts this evening Sydney
Yeah.
time,
Yep.
lunchtime.
So that'll be their
Portugal
first
time.
full. Oh, I suppose no, the other one was an ocean leg.
Well, an coastal ocean leg,
Yeah,
sort
yeah,
of, you know.
exactly.
And it was a pretty nice sail, but it was mostly downwind, and,
Yeah.
and you know they got 5th. But I guess we'd expect them to get better as the race goes on,
Absolutely.
and
I wa-
David be looking forward to the Southern Ocean, I'd imagine.
Yeah, well. The doldrums, just reckons.
That's David with
Yeah,
his specialty.
yeah, he's got so much patience for that stuff. I watched the inshore race at Lisbon, and it's a pretty narrow river there, and I think they had less than a nautical mile beat, like 3 or 4 laps. And
Yeah.
in those things, oh man, the breeze was up and down and whatever. But the one thing that came through is that the map freight got hammered early, but geez, they came through.
Yeah, no, I did have a look at that as well, but not very representative of what happens in the ocean.
No. Well, also too, the thing is, Bucko, a lot of those teams came so late into the game. I was listening to not Blair Took, Burling, I think it was, on Brunel. Sorry,
Yes.
on Brunel, and just saying that they really had only sailed a couple of days before the first leg as a team.
Yeah, I mean,
the
they've
whole
been
team.
training, but not with the whole team.
Yeah.
So, anyway,
So anyway,
we'll see. Yeah, I think we might see some more recoil action
1:30.
here.
Yeah, big chance.
Nice bit of nor'east puff just coming here. Breeze back up probably to about 8, 9, 10 where we are now in the middle of this puff.
Yeah,
But the fleet is racked up pretty early again,
yep.
considering we're getting to 1 minute. And you know, the ebb tide is
1:10.
pretty strong. All the guys at the boat end are well early, and all the guys.
Well, some of them, like kitchen makers, going to have to go round again. They're a bit locked out. Same with Ilve. down
Quick-
towards the pin.
Queeks would have a good handle on that, though, wouldn't he?
Yeah, he's got plenty of time. He's got 52 seconds. But down the pin end, we got Smeg.
And they're all early. They're going to get carried over by the tide at the present rate of progress, one would suggest. So just 35 seconds.
Vintech going for the absolute pin, slots in under Smeg.
Peroni very close. Who's that up the top there? Oh, DeLonghi over already.
Peroni will be over.
Yeah.
We're not right on transit here, but just sort of guesstimating. A few of them have to bail back. Noak Sailing's bailed back.
DeLonghi found a hole. Peroni's well over.
Yep.
Finport well over.
Yep, they're gone. Lumix will be over.
10 seconds to go.
They have to bail out.
General record.
Yeah. Triple M, they'll be over. Smeg hits the trigger, they'll be over. Vintech. All right, this will be messy. Now, I think they've let them go, have they?
They've probably put an individual
can't
recall.
see.
We don't have the Channel 73 on our boat here. But,
Yes, you do. Right there, Bucko. Right in front of you. You're right, it's an individual. So just, I don't know if they're going to call them, but geez, there was a lot over. I definitely reckon that Triple M and Smeg were over. No one's gone. Finport's gone back. They're the only one that's gone back.
Yep, around the end.
And it's still,
Smeg's going back.
yeah.
John Winning started legally, I think, in the
Yep.
Yandu.
We can't see. We're too far away to see the numbers. So really, the numbers are not of a lot of use to these competitors unless they're right at the boat. They're just going to have to sort of make a judgment call themselves. So better pressure. What's Noak's Youth's going back?
I think that Triple M's going back.
Confused by the flags there. What are you seeing on the boat? The flags. I'm seeing both. I've got around the ends rule flag up, and down the bottom of the mast, the individual recall.
That rib's waving them all back over there.
Yeah. Okay, so looks like it's a general. They're not.
So they might put the black flag up, was.
I get a bit confused by the flags, Bucko, on the committee boat, to be honest.
Well,
Didn't stack up. Anyway, a little bit of pressure here in the left, where Vintech and Asco are. They're shooting that.
so why don't we go and
Yeah. We'll do that. We'll sit up there for this one.
note here now, the wind's come up on the face of a little tiny rain squall.
Yes.
So when about halfway through there, and you can run into the front of them, so they're coming towards you, and we can see the boats. I've got this one, but I don't have the length. I've only got that length. So you're turning that off? Yeah, that's fine.
Can you possibly go to a different camera?
Yeah, chuck it up. Ronan's not working. We're on handheld.
Can you possibly take the camera?
Yeah, go on.
All right, so folks, the image is going to be a bit bumpy. It's times we're having a full meltdown today on the boat. Our stabilised cameras hasn't liked all the wet weather or something, and that's gone down. So we've got Blake on the handheld, and he doesn't have a strapping cage to balance himself on, but luckily it's not too bumpy today, so
Yeah. Yeah, we're just going to find a cable that's long enough, because this isn't...
all right, so we're going to set up and do all this again. A little bit of starting practice for the boys and girls. Boys, in this case.
Black flag.
Yep, black flag start.
For the viewers, the black flag means that if you're over the line or it's oh yeah, no, that's the rule still. The line or its extensions in the last minute, you are disqualified. So we might see a bit of better behaviour from the fleet this time.
Well, we've got a pretty bit of wild drone action trying to get it back on board. All right, it's just going to be one of those days, I think, Bucko. We're going to get everything chucked at us at once. Well, we have had everything.
A good training.
Well, not everything.
Good training run, mate.
I won't, absolutely.
Water in the
I
fuel.
won't put any more knockers on us.
Water in the electronics. All good.
Yeah. Drone trying to take off Chit's head.
Any flesh wounds, mate?
Whoa. You get up and do it.
No.
I definitely think crash helmet's in order.
And if anybody's looking for some entertainment, if everybody looks at Mr. Chittenden's Facebook page, there's a pearl of a shot of one of the Manly 16s doing the perfect endo up in the rough water off North Head yesterday. Pretty lumpy conditions with ebb tide, and he's captured it at pretty much exactly 90 degrees to the horizontal.
Yeah, nice. There's not a lot of volume in the front of those things.
That's an understatement, was.
And around that area with what we had over the last few days, I dare say there'd be a fair few waves with not a lot of things, material on the other side, just a big hole.
Pretty ugly indeed.
I've got, no, we'll stay here now. You just got to remember. Very limited manoeuvre.
So these guys have had 2 practice runs at the start, and now the committee's put the black flag up, meaning thou shalt go home if over. So we'll see some learned behaviour from the fleet, I think, here.
With it, any time within a minute.
Last minute, yeah.
Yeah. So if you're over any time in the last minute, just go home.
So we might turn ourselves into judge, jury, and executioner, eh, was?
Yeah, exactly.
I think. Be all right. Okay.
All right, what do we got?
Line up, gentlemen.
2 minutes for.
No, 1
there's
minute.
2 minutes.
1 minute. So as we can observe, the fleet considerably more conservative,
Yeah.
and probably the only boats in some danger are DeLonghi and perhaps Del Zotto.
And what are you seeing up the course? That breeze we had before in the left is gone.
Yeah, the breeze has turned right, so the line is now biased actually towards the windward end.
Yeah, a bit more pressure in the right-hand side as opposed to the left now.
Yep, the little rain squall just changed the dynamics, didn't it?
Yeah.
30, 25 seconds coming to DeLonghi, looking very, very
Ooh,
dangerous.
Absolutely. And a little bit locked out.
Yeah.
Very crowded at the boat end. Smeg's got that sort of pin area to themselves at the moment.
Yep, he's nicely off. DeLonghi will break the start, I think.
Bit of a left-hand shift in the left at the moment, Bucko, if you look over at Bradley's.
Yep, oh well, little pressure there. Oh, we're good. It's all
Okay,
good.
so no
DeLonghi
one.
did a good job of
Yeah.
slowing down. Not much current at this end of the line, in fact, Warwick. So the leeward end, probably well favoured, I expect.
Yeah.
Quality
fair
marine
bit of
clothing
bias.
first out. Yeah.
Or Smeg's down
And
below
Smeg,
them even
yeah.
further. If they get into that left-hand shift.
Well, it's the current as well, and it's come
Yes.
rolling around the bow of the guys at this end. You watch. The breeze gone back to the left, so that little right-hand shift lasted
Yeah.
about 1 minute.
And Smeg's in the pressure. What do we get? We've got that. We've got the aerial shot of that. So Smeg's just bolted.
He's gone. Quality Marine will be second.
Little header and they'll cross the fleet.
Oh, you cross the fleet
Quite
easily right now.
Yeah.
And the guys here attack on the windward end. So
Yeah. They're looking pretty
oh,
good.
he's a long way left there now. So you'd think Smeg would go just to the middle of the stream and tack.
Yeah, well, I'm looking up at one of the CYC youth boats and they're well up on the opposite tack, just up towards Bradley's. very soft in the middle, was just patchy.
Yeah, probably average wind speed probably going to be 6, 7, 8 in that range.
Okay.
You can find 8 knots, you go about a knot and a half faster than the guy that's in 6 knots.
Yeah.
Things change pretty quickly. Tacking's pretty expensive because the boats do just stop.
Yeah. So Smeg's still punching out to the left.
And he's got full pressure. He's 3 strings, so using full crew riding moment. And he might even be a chance to win the race, I'd say, from there if he does his usual good job. Here he goes. He's into the lull. Look at that.
Yeah. And just a reminder, it is a handicap race again, 3 boys. So Smeg will have to travel the most distance out of anybody in the fleet.
Yeah, he's a scratch boat, and deservedly so, and gets punished each time with another 100 metres up the beat and down the road.
Still persevering, going further left.
Here he goes.
And just good little bit of pressure, 100 metres up from where he
Yeah,
is.
no, he's in the line off Bradley's. It's pretty good. He's had to suffer a little bit to get there, but he's now in perhaps the most wind on the track. Beautiful picture from the drone. Wow. Fabulous.
And they're basically pointing at the mark. I mean, incredible what they've done, what Smeg has done.
Yeah,
To the entire fleet.
Triple M leads the other side and is probably 150 metres behind. Sorry, mate.
So, Varco, that's like 200 metres they've put on the guys that are at the boat and have had to tack.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just little microbursts on the water, isn't there? Like just right where we are, there's one, and
just little rolling cells that
yeah.
press down and then lift off on the back.
Because that cloud's pretty low, isn't it?
Yeah. A couple of 1,000 feet only there.
It's like, what are we on? Still on Smeg, but just to see, yeah, Quality Marine there in second place. So they've done well. Yeah, this is going to be painful for some today, this is for sure. Triple M on opposite tacks, just with Ilve. Just trying to get back out to this side. Smeg just out of shot, I think, but it's just starting to get headed again.
Big header with plenty of wind.
Yeah. So they're hooking into some nice pressure. So those guys, it's really Smeg and Quality Marine Clothing that's in phase at the moment, isn't it?
Yeah, and Appliance on Line done quite well over the far shore as well.
Yeah, well, considering where they were at the beginning. So now we've got the most amount of breeze that we've had all day, or since we started the race anyway.
Yeah, where we are in the middle of the course, just not too far away from Smeg. Wind speed around 9 knots now, so a little bit above what we had been seeing previously. And on the right-hand edge, Appliances Online, Quality Marine Clothing and Smeg in good pressure, but right-hand air now, so I think a little permanent thing here for a permanent in the sense of the, you know, the sort of relative time scale of the race.
Yeah, the phase. And I was just, not through the monitor, I was just looking at Smeg eyeballing, they were actually easing a bit of sheet there before. So Brett Van Munster, he's tacked on Appliances Online. He's had to, couldn't go much further in there.
Gee, they're pushing hard right, aren't they?
Yeah, they are. Seems to be the best pressure on this right-hand side at the moment anyway. Smeg just doing a beautiful job.
Yeah.
Yeah, the damage that's been done to some of the back markers already just within a few minutes is enormous.
And that's even an understatement, was.
Yeah. Yeah.
So Smeg confident there. He's in good pressure the whole way across now. So he's nearly got enough up his sleeve to lead the race despite the
Yeah.
unwinding at the marks. But
Yeah.
Finport's done well out of the second group here, I think.
So, I think I'm just thinking, oh no, Keegan's doing Finport today.
Yeah, Keegan's on scratch, so big job. So he's come out of there pretty well. A little closer to second than we might have thought, but Quality Marine. Finport will be second. How about that? No, Finport's just got a duck
Yeah,
in.
they've done well, and Ilve's done well as well.
Yep.
Lumix, there's actually this little pack here for the second spot is closed up again. Some of those boats came out all right, like Triple M.
So Ilve also a little duck around the back of Quality
Yeah,
Marine, so
yeah. Ollie's doing a good job there.
they're in the fight for the podium. And he's got a nice long handicap.
Yeah.
So Smeg leads by about a little bit over a minute.
Yeah. So Quality Marine, they're heading way out to the left. Smeg, so they're really just sailing in phase with Smeg, aren't they? Just, you know, 100 metres behind, pretty much just doing what they're doing.
Yeah, staying in the funnel. Wind a little stronger on the left-hand side up here.
Geelong having a little issue and attack.
Yeah, Smeg just cruising along, really.
Oh yeah.
Quality Marine Clothing, easily second now. I think.
They've actually lost a bit there, Quality Marine Clothing, didn't they?
Ooh, have a look.
Very tricky day, and Smeg so far has just hooked up the dots perfectly. Kitchen make it. Just having a duck Peroni there.
In a nice line of wind on the left edge there. He just put the hammer down and gone through the lee of Panasonic.
Yeah.
Great stuff.
Are we on that?
No, we're on.
That's good.
Well, the thing for the viewers, the boats, when they go bow down in this sort of 8 knot wind speed, the VMG doesn't go down very much, so you can got quite a wide choice of how you actually go upwind. You can go high and slow, or low and fast, and the end result is not very different. So
I think really today, Bucko, it's about what you're seeing on the water and trying to hook up the dots.
yeah, just pressure, just
Yeah.
find the wind. Yeah,
Yeah.
just watch your back. Bit of traffic.
All right, so this is where we're getting to even more trickier area in a minute as we get up closer to that huge hill in Rose Bay.
It is a bit paradoxical, isn't it? We're looking straight at the water tower on the hill,
Yeah.
and the Windward Mark that's the highest point of the hill around
Yeah.
Sydney. The water tower on top
Exactly.
of the hill, and the Windward Mark's directly underneath it.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh dear.
So potentially a little bit of a parking lot of sorts.
A couple of 100 feet of woody hillside does marvellous things to the wind indeed.
There's some pretty wild angles on those marks, I think.
Smeg, as usual, going up the left-hand side here, and I don't think he can come at this mark from the starboard side of the track, so he's done the safe thing, I think. We're looking up there, we've got the fin port.
So the Vintech, they got absolutely smashed early on in the beat. Now just starting to, they went well left, like the most left-hand boat, and they've actually calmed back to the back of this pack that we're in.
You'll be in trouble, was. Oh, you're right.
And not a lot of reverse action.
We've got a single engine catamaran today, folks. One of the outboards has got a bit of fuel contagion, it appears. Unfortunately, it's not windy enough to require us to go full speed.
So Vintech, new sponsor to the class. Producers of top-end wind refrigerators.
He's got a problem now because he's had to tack exactly downwind of Peroni.
Yeah, well, it's just so narrow here. You don't get a lot of choice, do you? They're up hard against the bricks.
No, the Dardanelles. The Narrows, indeed.
All right, so we might try and sneak up here a little bit, and as the boats approach the top of this beat for the very first time, and Smeg has lost a bit of ground. Just looking visually.
He's a bit further away, perhaps.
Who's that?
than we
Someone's.
think.
Sorry.
We
Swearing,
need,
took someone out.
we need eyes in the back of our heads, mate.
Yeah. So we're directly behind the boat in second, so I can't see the signage yet, but they've come out of basically nowhere.
Well, the order's the same, Warwick, isn't it? We've still got Smeg leading from Finport and Quality Marine Clothing.
Oh yeah, Finport.
And
Right, okay.
Finport's the scratch boat as well, so they're all
Right.
going to the most distant mark.
Okay.
And, you know, Triple M, I think, is fourth pretty clearly, and
Yeah.
they're a good minute adrift of third.
All right, so here they go, Quality Marine
Quality
Clothing.
Marine got
Yep.
the short mark.
Yep. And they've got some good pressure. Just looking on the water here, Bucko, there's a nice little bit of patch of pressure for them.
A nice bit of southerly pressure as well, mate. Ooh. Ooh.
Yep.
Smeg just got a big header going into the mark. Look at that.
Yeah, and no wind.
God. Anyway, he'll still be second on the water, I think, after the Triple M goes to the shorter mark. I'll get into the back of this puff, I think, okay.
Yeah.
No, good wind where they are now, so that's all right.
So it's a matter of Triple M. I don't know what. They look like they might be going to this first mark, so they might just do a little.
Yeah, they're
cut
going to
through.
red. They are going
Yeah,
to red.
So they're going to sort of slip inside Smeg.
Good bit of wind coming for Smeg though here, Warwick. Yeah,
Yeah.
where the bow of the camera cat is.
Yeah.
So pretty good. Yeah, it's pretty even in fact. Triple M in front by about 80 metres, I suppose. But that's a good beat from the Smeg, isn't it?
A very good beat.
Yep. They've saved their handicap on all but.
And Keegan too. The Finport guys did a good job.
Yeah,
They weren't that far behind them.
No, fantastic job. So who's in that boat today, Warwick? We saw Marcus actually Jones steer it last week with Keegan in the bow.
No, I think Keegan's.
Yeah, Keegan's
in.
at the back of the bus.
Matt Stenter and Angus Williams.
Well, they haven't lost anything there, have they?
No. So Ilve around next.
Yeah, and again, he's a limit boat. He's not started. He's got 10 minutes handicap, so he's the short mark every time.
Yep, Noak sailing.
Noak sailing. Panasonic Lumix might pick for the podium.
Yeah, all around the shortcut.
Oh, no, Triple M and Panasonic, indeed. and Chit's lamenting his selection of the rag, which is, I think, solidly, approximately last.
Yeah, they've got hurt.
Yandu,
the kitchen maker, the two masters.
Intermediate mark, the grey-haired division, we'll call it.
Yeah, they're sailing well, those guys.
Yeah.
Then it'll be Peroni, Vintech. So they've got it. Vintech got it back a few boats because they were in pretty poor shape really early on. And then the rest, which is Asco, Noakes Youth, DeLonghi, Rag and Famish. And Del Zotto fighting it out with Rags. Yeah, the big spread in the fleet now, my God. Right, we'll duck down the middle here.
So this leg of the course, big long run downwind, VMG run effectively down towards North Sydney.
Yeah, well, they go to the market
Oh, I'm
Clark
sorry,
Island,
and
don't
there is an intervening drive market, Garden Island, which just makes
But
a little kink in the
they?
course.
Exactly. It's still pretty much a VMG. I mean,
It's not yeah. But the wind direction's such that they almost be on the bottom, on the ley line to the bottom, I would think, from the drive mark, Warwick.
yeah.
Just about, anyway, except for the tide perhaps taking him upstream again.
Yeah.
Downstream, sorry.
So we're just going to have to hang here for a sec while we land the drone, do a battery change, and then we'll be off on our way. Just watch yourself there.
We're in the hard hat area, mate.
Yeah.
Need a boat hook for the drone, a drone hook. Hey? Ooh.
All right, so we'll get drone safely on board. Noakes Youth, Kirk Mitchell on board, having a good little battle with Rags. Asco well back. So this sort of, these conditions can really throw a spanner in the work.
Yeah, James Doran wouldn't be too happy with that.
Well, Mick is on board today.
Yeah.
Mick Alone, Harry Bethwaite, all the replacements.
Yeah.
They've got good pressure down there now. Just snakes and ladders.
Yeah, so out of all that, looking down the track a little.
Yeah, quality marine clothing's getting down to that wing mark of Clark Island already.
Yeah. And Triple M and Smeg look quite close together from where we are. At least in time. He'll be on a good lay in there, Warwick, I think also out to the right.
Yeah, Ollie's hanging in there. Yeah, he's actually looking pretty handy down there.
Yep. Camera's back on.
We're back.
Back on Noakes, but
Yeah, Noakes here. Noakes Sailing's further in front. So Noakes Sailing's got the red shoot. Very tricky stuff.
yeah, some pretty big angle changes up in front here.
Yeah.
20 degrees difference between the Triple M and the Smeg in basically the same bit of water. Smeg perhaps on the front of a nice puff, which the leader probably moved over. So Quali Marine soaking down on the mark.
Yep, they're around.
So he's around the jibe mark in the distance of the shot.
They may have even made ground, Bucko.
Yeah, that looks correct now. Now that they've turned the corner, as it were.
Yeah.
Smeg jibing now.
Good pressure, and as you said before, I think they're going to be straight to the bottom mark from there, no more jibing.
Yeah, I think that looks pretty good, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yandu's made up some here as well.
Yeah, they're coming back to that pack of
Close
Triple M
to
and
us, but not much between Triple M. Triple M's a little to windward of Smeg. Smeg now fully loaded, and therefore slightly underlaid the jibe mark.
yeah. So we're just on Yandu now, going to the jibe mark, and battle between the scratch boats, Smeg and Finport. Not a lot in it, you know, from the top mark. Do you think it's pretty?
No,
pretty
that's
much sustained.
fairly good.
So Smeg around in second, Triple M third, Ilve just sneak inside Finport. So Ollie Hardis having a good day so far. So he'll be around in fourth, Finport fifth, and then it'll be Noakes Sailing. Sean Langman on the mark about the jibe, he'll be next.
Ooh, Brett Van Munster trying to soak to the mark from there. Wow,
Yeah.
okay.
Jibed a little bit early.
Yep.
He'll be heading it up right about now. All
In-
these boats, 3 strings, Bucko.
Not too bad.
Actually, some of them looking for a bit of height, mains out.
Well, the leader is VMG running.
Yeah, I wouldn't be giving away, I'll be taking all the soak I could right now.
That would be correct, mate. Tide's roaring out.
Exactly.
You can always drop, but you can't manufacture any new pressure.
Yeah. Exactamundo.
Wind
And it looks
direction-
like Yandu, I don't know if we're on it. No, we're not, but Yandu is doing exactly that, I think. I think they're just happy to sail
There we go.
wherever the breeze takes them.
Yep. Smeg, ooh, now bow up quite a lot there.
Yeah,
down in
they're
the
getting
lead.
halfway down, they're getting lifted, aren't they?
Yandu would be happy to scrape across the top of Fort Denison, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, they're going to be, just looking, the leader's a long way away. They're a little bit bowed down now.
Yeah, he's not 3 strings
Actually,
anymore,
I'm
the
seeing
leader.
them- I think the mark's a little bit higher than we thought, actually. A little bit further east.
Test
All
it.
right, so I think we might...
Test of our young eyes, Warwick. It's a mile and a bit away.
Yeah, exactly.
Camouflage yellow against the Sydney sandstone shoreline. Nice.
Yeah.
Oh, the leader's got good pressure down at the mark, so
Yeah, so it's soak not really required. You're right. We've got the right mark. We're on the leader with the drone, which is a long way away from where we are, I can tell you.
yeah. A little bit of signal interference there in the picture, but kitchen maker now in the foreground, and
Yeah, so they just go through the soft patch and then up ahead of them, a lot of them have got really good pressure.
Yeah, they're nice full load, and they will have to drop early. They're looking at it, we'd expect these two boats in front of us, Lumix, to lay the mark, and Yandu to leeward have to drop early. So the leader dropping probably 200 yards to leeward of the rum line, but he's got it to bed pretty nicely.
Just look upwind, Bucko. Look at the breeze there.
Little rain score, Warwick.
Yeah. Plenty.
And a bit of 14 knots coming down, I think, or 12
Yeah.
at least, certainly.
And it's funny because, like, the kitchen maker and Lumix doesn't have that much at the moment, where the others are struggling to make the mark. I think they're about to get this new pressure, though.
Well, it hasn't changed things much, so the pressure's come down, but the leader's already gone. Oh, he's having a bit of trouble. Second boat having a bit of trouble on the dial up at the bottom there. Here they go. In the drone shot was. Look.
So Smeg second,
Yeah.
Triple M third, Finport fourth. So I think Smeg's extended a little bit over Finport, that part of the run.
And here comes the rain again. Was a song. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's Annie Lennox where we need her.
So Ollie Hart is hanging in there. It's good.
Well, this beat might test those guys because they're pretty light.
Yeah.
And, nearly white caps upwind of us. Oh, well, we were wet yesterday, we'll be wet again today. Quality Marine making a good fist to the start of this beat, Warwick.
Sorry, I'm just distracted for the moment.
Yeah, Warwick's fiddling with the port outboard. Okay, so the breeze turned left quite a way here, was.
Yeah. Yeah, look at them. Well up. So not a lot changed, did it, Bucko, really, down that run?
Yeah. But Quality Marine has halved the lead of the Smeg in the first part of the beat. Breeze has turned left about 20 degrees, and enough puff upwind of us here that the Quality Marine flapping,
Yes.
full mainsail inversion, and some little bursts coming off the hillside here. And the face of the
Crazy
squall.
day.
Yep.
I mean, if the
Holy
breeze hangs in here at this angle, they're going to get up this beat pretty quickly.
Correct.
Look at that, Luke. I mean, I don't know if we got you. Can't actually see pretty well where they're heading, even though we're on Quality Marine, but they're heading straight for Point Piper.
Yeah, it's a good left-hand bend, isn't it?
Yeah.
So that puts Triple M back up near the front. Because Smeg tack pretty close to the mark, so they're now the right-hand most boat.
Yeah.
Quality Marine probably on line ball with Smeg. So big bit of gear changing here for the crews. Wind now up towards top range for these big rigs.
Sort of getting a bit sandwiched here. Yeah. But they won't be minding that. It's quite often in these easterlies, it's a slow old race, so
Oh, this will be a beauty now.
yeah.
Oh, he's just standing into a good one now, Chits. Sorry, we're just debating the wind strength on the Triple M. They might have just had to jump in to fix an adjustment of some kind.
Yeah, looking up the course, Smeg had their mainsail inside out, Bucko.
Yep, it was that much wind.
And Ilve just right here. So Ollie Hardis,
Yeah.
boys,
So perhaps the lightest crew in the fleet.
yeah, doing well though.
You know, hanging in, but struggling, and the trim change hard for these guys. They can't alter the jib sheeting angle whilst going upwind.
Or the rig tension.
Or the rig tension.
At this stage.
Right.
None of the Australian boats have got that, even though there are people working on that system right now, Bucko.
Yes.
So that will be implemented later on in the year.
Breeze turning left more. So the model said a build and northeast, but not this much.
Yeah, right, okay.
So it's almost true northeast now, not quite, but
I mean, look at Finport, Bucko, like that.
Yeah.
They're heading straight for the mark.
yeah, we're on Triple M, and their bow is distinctly at the mark.
Yeah.
Plenty of wind.
So the boats just that little bit further to the left have got a big angle difference compared to the boat, you know, boats just 100 metres downwind of them, or to leeward of them rather.
The first rule of Sydney Harbour was thou shalt visit Bradley's Head mostly as soon as practicable.
Look, they're overlaid now, Bucko.
Yeah, they're now
I mean, it's going to collapse. It's not going to stay in all the way, I don't think. But big angle changes. It's bringing Yandu out of shot just on our beam, right back into it.
Yeah. So the big loser out of that was Smeg after an
Yeah,
incredibly good first lap.
yeah.
They've given it all back.
Well, now it's just gone down. Are we onto it? Yeah. Finport's just crashed, so to speak, in terms of the major header.
Gee whiz.
And Triple M will be next. They're just starting to get it now. So, but that's really helped these two boats. That big lefty they had for so long.
Yeah, they've done it. They've done half the beat, 20 degrees.
Yeah, exactly.
20 degrees up.
Barry, coming in here, chicks. Where's that drone? Yeah, I've got to go.
Where's the drone?
Okay. Yep. Okay, you can bring.
There he is.
So gone very light again, Bucko here.
Amazing, isn't it?
Yeah, and I mean we're looking at Ilve. And
All those controls you pulled on, Warwick, you got these them off again, all
off
right?
again.
Cunningham, bang.
Yeah.
Wow, but the breeze stable now at about 070 or something, or 060 perhaps.
But still a big difference between where Triple M is, like how bow up they are,
Yeah.
compared to Smeg on the other shore and Quality Marine Clothing.
Yeah.
I mean these are our two leaders now.
Yeah, you'd think Finport's
Finport,
leading,
yeah,
Triple
Finport
M
and Triple
second.
M.
Quality Marine Clothing might be third, in fact.
Yeah,
Maybe.
yep, absolutely.
A delightful tourist vessel in the middle of the screen. But Mr. Chippenden referring to it in derogatory terms.
All right.
Sydney Harbour has had its share of floating atrocities over the years. It was,
And just to let you know, Bucko, Smeg is behind Quality Marine Clothing.
yep.
So everyone to the right got punished. The boats that were on the left-hand side of the beat all got rewarded.
Yep.
And the biggest rewards definitely was Triple M and Finport.
The blue room is going to run us down, was.
Yeah, he's going full noise at us.
We'll call it the SB. Chip. This is a G-rated program, Chips.
So Scratch Boat Finport back in the lead.
The Triple M be fancying their chances for me, though, wouldn't they?
Yeah.
Off 5 minutes, so
Up lap. Oh yeah.
you know, one more long run, one more
just-
long beat.
But it just shows you the good guys and Smeg coming back to get in touch with this lot.
Yep, hurting out there on the ride for a long time.
Yeah, but patience.
Patient, my goodness. Begin to describe it.
So this time we do go straight down to the bottom mark.
Starboard bias, starboard jive now. Easy,
Big.
easy,
Big time.
easy, easy, easy.
It's like,
Only tricky part is a bit past Shark Island here, probably.
well, they'll probably take that, port jibe out for a little while and then get on to,
Well,
On
looking
the
at that,
starboard
what they've
jibe.
got now, they'll lay down in one, Warwick,
yeah.
or very close too, so
But as you said, they're just got to get around the back of the island, so we'll see.
you'd want to be very careful about how much time you spend on port jibe. The
Yeah.
Smeg struggling across here. And the best wind where we are, where Triple M is, essentially.
Yeah. So we've got Triple M in shot.
Triple M, so they lead Smeg now by probably 100 metres or thereabouts. And you can see...
They've just gone super soft. Finport Quality Marine Clothing coming back. Not going to be too far away.
well,
Jeez, it's
well-
tricky up in this section.
well in touch. Well, again, the breeze is still out to the left here, where Smeg is going and where we are. Breeze lifted off entirely over towards the right-hand side, and still a little bit of rain squall evident.
Well,
On the left.
This is going to compress a few of them again because there's just nothing straight ahead of us, and the Smeg's into a beauty on our port side, coming back into. You'll see them in a minute. Converge with Quality Marine Clothing, who we've got on the
So
drone.
Smeg's back to third here, Warwick.
Yeah,
Lifted,
Yeah.
high left.
With pressure.
With pressure, exactly.
but looks just looks really tough to get through this Shark Island section.
No, I think you'll be all right. You have more wind than Triple M.
Yeah. I just meant as a generally speaking for all the boats, Bucko.
Yeah, no, it's amazing, isn't it? Look at that.
So Smeg back in front
Of
by
Quality
three boat
Marine,
lengths.
Quality Marine Clothing at least, and
Yeah.
he may be getting back towards the lead actually.
Yeah, well, no, they've gone soft.
This might be the day here around the other side, mate.
Yep, you're right, because there is breeze on that other side, and all these other guys have got everybody in the boat.
Yeah, just out to the left, we can't quite see it, but off the end of the island there, the white light, there's a good line of pressure there, straight through the top of the Smeg rig at the moment as the camera's looking at it.
And out of shot, but look over your right-hand shoulder, Bucko, the boats, there's appliances online, Ilve, Noak Sailing, Yandu, all pulling strings, where all the leaders at this stage, they've got no one out on the trapeze. But they're all going to come in the same bit of breeze and water in a minute, and they're all going to park up.
This is the back of the rain score problem, mate.
Well, this is the Derwent River.
Oh, the Derwent. Now, I was down in Hobart during the week and had a little trip to the top of Mount Wellington, and you
Middle of
realise,
summer.
I guess, A, there was snow on it,
Yeah.
but B, it's 1,200 and something metres high, like nearly 1,300 metres, so
It's a pretty big bit of rock.
3/4 of a mile high, and it's only about exactly 3 miles just less than 3 miles from the
the
finishing line of the
river,
Hobart race, so that's what causes a
Can
bit of
have an
trouble.
effect.
Yeah. But there's a couple of feet of snow up there on Friday, so people making snowmen and all sorts of European habits. Wow, tricky old day.
Yeah, real head scratcher.
Finport's going well out to the right there.
And just looking
The
around,
Smeg on shot, not enjoying it at the moment too much.
and the guys at the back have just
Ooh, have a look.
really been hurt.
Have a look at this, Warwick. Smeg going back to chew on the nor'east some
Yeah.
more in no wind. And the Finport hard right,
Yeah, with pressure.
a couple of 100 yards away in good pressure. So
Yeah. Well, they got through that soft section, didn't they? They just had to persevere, and they've bolted away from Triple M. Spinport got it first. But just to let you know, some of these other guys have just been smashed, like ugly. Like the Kitchen Maker and Asco and Vintech.
There's the tail end Charlie Warwick looking back.
I think Vintec, mate.
Well, the Rag and Famish made up some ground, did it?
Where's
Chits' best pick.
Where's Chits' Rag and Famish? It's Pecan Chits.
They're in the doldrums with Asco.
Yeah, and Peroni and DeLonghi. Yeah,
Anyway,
geez.
The bookie took your money, I know that. That's all right. Don't worry, it was only $20.
Oh, God. I'm glad I'm here and not out there. All right, let's head up to the top mark, guys.
So Quality Marine Clothing has seen greatness and ran from it a bit up this beat, haven't they?
Yeah. Yes, they've well, that whole pack that was on the right has got them. You know, that pack I was discussing before being the Yandu Appliances Online, Ilve, Noak Sailing, all got pressure on the right, and these guys just got becalmed here. And
Sneaky.
there's only a couple of 100 metres between them, and some got rich and others just got...
Smeg having another look at the left-hand edge.
broke.
Oh, my goodness. And the Triple M hard right, so we're looking at Smeg now. So he's a left-hand edge, just not very far from the corner of Shark Island, where the rounding mark is in a nor'easter. In not much wind.
Yeah.
In probably 4 to 5. And on the far right-hand side, over towards Wallara, the Triple M with 3 strings.
Yeah, right. Just nuts.
So the Triple M in about 8 knots of wind. So I think he will probably lead at the windward mark pretty easily, actually, looking at it now.
Well, you don't
Although Finport not out of it either.
Well, you don't want to be ripping up the tickets too early today, would you, Bucko?
No, keep them.
Keep your little coupons
Keep the coupons.
until the very end.
Smeg now in air on the left-hand edge.
Yeah.
Full pressure again.
Yeah. Crazy.
So we'll see. Smeg and Triple M will come together shortly. In about 1 minute.
Yeah. See, like Ilve's nearly got back up to Smeg. That's how much those leaders lost.
Well, I guess after the unwind here, Ilve will lead the race, won't they? Or
Yeah.
Noakes or no.
Yeah, I'm not too sure. Yeah, maybe Noakes.
Noakes has got plenty of unwind.
Yeah.
This lead. Yeah, Noakes has done well.
Another in the Grand Masters division or the Masters division. It's the 3rd year back in the class, so getting organised.
So Noakes cracked sheets now into the mark, so he's on the shortest mark. Triple M clearly in front of Smeg, and Triple M actually going to get there. Breeze hard right now up the top here, just a big right-hand turn. Wow. Look at that, Warwick. Look at the wind angle there, mate.
Yeah, so Noakes actually going to the 2nd mark.
Yeah. So
But he'll still get it. Ilve won't get there. Noakes in good pressure too.
Yeah,
At the mark.
good pressure with header.
Yeah. So that's how much it's flicked around again, which we're talking about the opposite jibe. And as you said, the other side of the island, Bucko.
The
not
kitchen
like
maker
shot.
reaching in a nor'easter
Yeah.
from the left edge.
Yeah,
Can we
exactly.
get a shot of that, Chip? Oh, the Quality Marine.
A bit of yelling going on
there.
there. So Ilve's got a massive header. So this breeze is just clock back right big time. And Noakes, oh dear, they got the chute in the water.
Triple M
Someone's going in. Quality Marine Clothing's in the tide.
Yep.
Little micro burst right there. I can see it on the water. And Noakes is going to go in next. They're saved at the moment. But they're just prawning there. Bows wound up, so that's not an easy thing to get unwound. They've got to get that halyard up.
A good bit of pressure. Triple M.
So yeah. So all changing. So Noakes, I'm just watching the shoot. Ilve's around there, safe at the moment. Smeg, okay, our leader.
So Sydney Harbour got two distinct bits of wind here in the bay where we are. Breeze right back to the east-southeast.
Yeah, it just flicked. It's flicked
40,
hard.
probably 45 degrees wind change.
Absolutely, because I remember before you were talking about they were going to go down the
And now-
run on one leg,
and now
on the
they-
opposite jibe
Exactly.
to what they are now.
Probably nearly 90
Yeah,
degrees.
and
In fact, they're nearly about to mark on Port Drive.
Ilve's just braining it. Can we get onto the Ilve shits?
He's having a debate with a bloke in a little outboard
Yeah,
powered
but
boat.
look, he's brained it. Triple M is 30 degrees up. Smeg 40 degrees up, and that's a little bit due to the marks they had to go around.
Yeah.
But Ilve's pointing at the mark on Port Jibe, just loving life.
But as they go here, they'll start to get lifted up now.
Yeah, and now Noakes sailing just starting to get sorted out, but a major wine glass, which doesn't look like it's going to come out too easily. Okay, we're on with Brett. So we'll follow this pack down.
Oh no, just sitting up the drive, mate. So the appliance online, a bit of benefit of the shorter mark,
Yeah.
is now in the hunt as well.
So it's all getting chopped around. So good battle for the lead here again between Triple M and Ilve in there. So Ollie's hanging in there. No mistakes so far. Jibing with Triple M. A nice little jibe for those boys. Well done. Smeg coming back. Smeg coming back to fight with these guys. Amazing. So Lee and the boys sent out for a jibe. They go back. So, and Brett Van Munster, the appliances online, coming in a good little bit of pressure. So really a four-way battle. And just to let you know, just to keep you in the picture, behind all of this, the guys don't have much pressure at all.
Yeah, where are we? 1, 2.
So this leading pack of four is just sailing away at the moment.
Of the boats behind, only the fifth boat, Lumix, is attached to the puff.
Yeah.
The same puff the leaders are on the front of. Lumix is actually sailing into the back of now. So they'll be probably able to hang on to fifth and not see the gap widen too much. We're on Ilve on Port Jibe and Triple M jibing in front of them.
Yeah. So what's Ilve going to do here?
And a cruising boat giving them a bit of grief, but
So Ilve's continuing on, which I don't mind at the moment. They're doing that. Doesn't look too bad.
well, no more rain, Warwick. So I think we'll get to the finish in this sort of direction. Yeah.
Smeg jibes. So out of the leading group, it's only Ilve still on Port Jibe. Ooh, just look over your right-hand shoulder, Bucko. Appliances online. Just got a massive header.
Yeah. So there is Norrie still on the other shore, and you'd imagine that Ilve might have gone too far there, and Triple M might be
Missing
about
out.
right, I would think.
Yeah. Well, it depends on whether it stays or not. That's the big
Oh no,
question,
it'll
isn't it?
always be 20 degrees different on that side. About 20 anyway. Flag on the bridge telling us the wind's about 080 on top of the bridge. 080 compass
Yeah.
wind.
That's all I meant was will it stay in that left-hand phase for that long?
Well, it just does go over the back of the hill at Bradley's. And
We'll see.
look at the header. These guys are all now in the
find out.
northeasterly flow. So
Yeah.
look at Triple M now.
Triple M's bow down.
Triple M's bow down. We're on Smeg, and Triple M's bow down about 30 degrees. And they're going faster than our one engine, mate. And The drone's got optimum VMG, no doubt about that. So if you're on board the Triple M, you'd be feeling a bit confident, wouldn't you? Bows below the mark.
Yeah, well, you'd be enjoying what you've got right now.
Yeah.
Long way to go in this yacht race.
So just come down around the bow of Ilvie pretty nicely. Marks up to the right from where they are by about 15 degrees.
Ilvie's, we're on Triple M. Ilvie's got the same pressure now. Brett Van Munster out to the right at Triple M is getting. They're okay now, but the pressure is up and down a little bit.
Well, Brett might come out first here, mate.
Yep. Yeah, if it
Applies
stays at that
online.
angle. Yeah.
You just don't know.
Exactly.
So it's, wow, look at that.
Yeah, and as you said, now Ilvie, Triple M, not pointing at the mark.
No. Triple M will be close to dropping, I would say, right now. But he'll go a bit further, but he probably...
Oh yeah, you'd have to.
Yeah.
Doing it right at the death, right at the end.
Well, Mark's up there, mate.
Yeah. So as it panned out,
Yeah.
Ilvie did go too far for sure.
For sure, and Triple M
Triple
also
M, yeah.
has gone a little too far.
What we
As
thought
soon-
was a good spot, there's actually ended up being too far as well.
We're on appliances online, but as soon as the bow's below Fort Denison, you better pull it off, mate.
And the Smeg, they jibe back for these two, and they've got it right spot on again, and in really good pressure.
Yep.
So the mark's right on our bow now, Bucko.
So we're parallel with the appliances online, or close
Yeah.
enough. And
So they're looking.
he better be careful he doesn't get so high he has to jibe.
Yeah, exactly. They're just getting a little bit light pressure now.
Yep.
Still a lot in this.
And the Triple M we're going, oh dear, oh dear.
Yeah, yeah.
Brett's still 3-string, so not quite VMG mode. Ilvie really pressed off to leeward.
This is really, really dodgy in here. You've got to be really on your toes. That breeze coming up over the top of Taronga Park Zoo.
Yeah. So now you see these guys having a VMG run and probably have to do a little jibe.
You're up to see. But Triple M's not going to get lifted enough to get to the mark without dropping their shoe.
No, they must be thinking about it as we speak.
And look at these shots here. Got the drone right over the shoulder.
Yep.
The boys on the appliances. Giving
They
them a
just
little
got
bit more air as
Got
well.
a good header, yeah.
Well, he just got the air off the drone.
Oh.
Smeg's.
Have a look at the
Smeg's
Smeg
look.
coming at us here. Wow.
Yeah. So these two will be first and second.
A little burst of breeze here. The Smeg's just coming with it.
And look over your shoulder, back a bit. Lumix
Yeah,
is
Lumix.
coming into it.
And so he's got a good unwind at the top. Triple M's dropped over to the leeward side of us.
Yeah.
We're on Smeg, and they will lay to the mark without jibing.
Yeah, and they got a little bit more pressure. Jeez, they're just these little microbursts on the water. It's amazing. Yeah. Now, Brett, who are we on? No, Smeg. Brett Van Munster, just let you know, we'll have to knock off a little bit early as well. So they're not going to actually lay the mark. They're going to have to knock their chute off a little bit early. So Smeg trying really hard to fight for height here.
Smeg at full load.
Yeah. And the thing is, appliances online,
Always.
they're going to converge with them. So it's a matter of
I think
Will they get round their
Lee will
bow?
just go. Yeah, Lee will just
get
go
round the
to
back of them.
go to his stern and then drop. I think.
Yeah.
He knows that's about the right
He was
place.
watching it. You can see him looking under the boom, watching it. And he's looking at the angle, their angle, and making a decision. So the four of them really close. Ilvie and
Triple M actually carried too far there.
Yeah, but the thing is, they're all converging together again.
Yeah,
All
there'll
those two.
be 4 boats in 1 minute here,
And big pressure.
and big bit of wind coming from the northeast.
Yeah.
Did I predict no more rain, Warwick? I might have to change that forecast.
So Smeg, tidy drop. So new leader.
Man, Van Munster and Co.
Yeah.
The super sub.
Yep, super sub the last few years, and now got a full program going. Got a good boat that David Witt had last year.
Ooh.
Whoa, are we on that? Yeah,
Ooh.
they're big.
Ooh.
Now they dial it
The
up.
dial up, not
Yeah.
that easy.
New team, couple of young blokes from the lake.
No, pretty good though.
So Appliances online first, Smeg second, Ilve have the inside run on Triple M, so they've made a gain. Ollie having a best day I've seen so far of him on the water, keeping it all together, doing a really solid job.
Yeah, and they'll have the benefit of a nice unwind at the top again, so they could
Yeah.
actually win the race.
Let's not put the knockers on them.
No, was you've just wrecked their chances, mate.
You're the one that said they could win the race. I just said they're doing a solid job.
Okay.
So something's going on Ilve. I don't know what it is. They had a slow tack. No, we're not on it, and they're not getting operational. Now I think their trapeze wires might have get tangled together. Triple M gone too far into that soft stuff there, Bucko.
Well, he had to go because he knows he's got to
Clear
get
air.
left and he's
Yeah.
got to clear his air. So, you know, the most left-hand air is right where we are, which is about a couple of hundred metres upwind of these
Okay,
boats.
so next around is Finport.
And Lumix 6. So that
Yeah.
sort of worked out as we expected to some degree, didn't it?
Yeah. Yandu around. Then it'd be Noak Sailing, who lost a heap of ground, and the kitchen maker made up a lot of ground, but quality marine clothing behind them. Remember, they had a capsize at the top there.
So effectively here, the three of the 4 leaders, Triple M, Appliances and Smeg, are effectively all going around the same mark. So it's now a scratch race for those 3 boats, all going to the furthest distant mark. Ilve has the benefit of a nice unwind of the maximum amount.
Yeah.
So if we unwound it as we speak, Ilve would be in the lead.
Okay. So Finport coming up on our stern. Breeze has gone soft again, Bucko, and not as far left as last time.
Oh, have a look at Mrs. Triple M. He's bending up nicely.
Yeah. What do we...
And Smeg also now in some more left-hand air a bit further up the track. So the effect of Bradley's head pretty considerable, as well as this bit of non-raining nor'easter, we'll call it that.
So now they're all the way to the top again, Bucko.
Oh, I'm sorry, I've just misled everybody. Triple M has one more unwind left, indeed.
So make it simple.
Oh,
What mark do they go to, Bucko?
the blue one.
Which is
The middle one. The middle one. Sorry, viewers.
So good battle. Can we get onto this? Just good battle between Lumix and Yandu just on our beam.
Yeah, the
So
left side.
Yandu just trying to hang in there. Yep, good little burst coming for them.
Yeah, the problem here for these boys is that they will shortly get dropped, I would expect, up
Yes.
past as they get close to Bradley's. Finport not in shot, a little upwind of Yandu in shot.
Well, I can tell you Triple M nearly went in backwards,
Oh.
Bucko.
Look at that.
Just got a glimpse of it which came off it, but they nearly went in backwards when they got that pushed down and got let down badly. So at the moment, Finport just milking the left-hander. Yeah,
How much milk is in the cow, Warwick?
not much more. That's
Ooh.
about it, brother.
Ooh.
That's it. That's the end of it. There's your answer.
Yep.
And Lumix saw that, just had a shot and got ready for it. So Yandu's preparing themselves for it as well. So just 30 degrees down and 10 knots drop in velocity.
Just a complete to zero, really.
Yeah. Tricky.
So the Triple M has lost a bit there too to the leaders somehow.
Oh, yeah. Well, they got majorly headed, and we'll go up and see that. Now the leaders have got left, a heap of left. Smeg's up again. Finport now got pressure back, so all those boats, Lumix, Yandu, Finport, Triple M, all now got a bit more consistent pressure, just getting through that transition zone. It's like they're going through the doldrums each time, Bucko.
Yeah, it doesn't feel warm enough for the doldrums for me, mate.
No.
She's a bit brisk in Sydney today. Yeah, half the problem with the doldrums is no wind. The other problem is that the air temperature is about 38 degrees.
Yeah, I've never sailed through them. I have no desire to.
And your Volvo around the world boat doesn't have the best ventilation. Well, we'll have to synchronise the drone with the ferry coming from
Each time.
Manly to Circular Quay.
I've just got the drone back down on board again, and so we'll go and chase down Smeg and Appliances Online and Ilve. Ilve's hanging in there. If he can, Ollie can keep it together for the rest of the race, he'll have a good takeaway from this today. Good for his confidence.
I think they might have visited the riding lever, Chits.
Just discussing Asco there. Once he had issues.
Wow, Smeg's done a number on them.
Yeah.
He's got a good...
Had to go to the furthest mark every single time.
Yeah.
What-
Up this speed, he's put a good 40 seconds into Appliances.
Has Brett got to go to the furthest mark also?
Yeah, yes, he does.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
Triple M that doesn't.
Okay.
They're far way back now, so...
Yeah. So it's really a matter of whether Ollie with his shortcut can do enough to fend off arguably the best
Wow.
boat in the fleet.
I think with the shortcut, those boats will be basically together.
So quite left the breeze here now, isn't it?
Yep. And Smeg sort of happy to just let it roll along.
Yeah.
Nobody's tacked out to the left side.
No. They'll just go to the point, won't they, Bucko?
Yeah, I think so.
There's good pressure coming down, even better pressure. Looks, some of those clouds look a bit grey, brother. Might be lucky, but it looks a little bit not too inviting just behind the hill where the water tower is.
Well, they put the water tower there to catch the rain, didn't they, mate?
No, they did, but certainly the highest point where they can let it flow.
Yeah, pump up the pressure indeed. Yeah, it looks like it might
Nice.
rain, but not whilst we're at sea. How's that?
I hope so. So Smeg tax. Ilve's done well with appliances online.
Yeah.
The 3DI kit on the Smeg
Got a bit of shiny and new look about it, hasn't it?
certainly does. This is definitely not a good day for your cold, Bucko.
Perfect day. Yesterday was even better.
Oh, so nice pressure.
Your shout, Chits. Beautiful, nice 3 strings. Lovely.
Yeah, exactly.
Top of the main, just in the onset flow. Perfect. Time to tack, boys. Time to tack.
Little header there.
Yep.
Nice time for them.
Here they go. Ooh, little.
No,
He
they're
digs in.
persevering.
He digs in, doesn't he?
Yep.
There he goes. All good.
So does Ollie, does he continue on? Or I'd suggest he should.
Pretty
Get up
hard.
to their line. They've
pretty-
hooked up that very nicely, the Smeg.
Pretty hard left where the Smeg is, indeed.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty smooth wind at that end of the island where the Smeg is, and the
Yeah.
island's not high enough to cause any trouble. Trouble comes from the bit with the trees on it.
Exactly.
Look at the Smeg now, Warwick. Wow.
Yeah, very nice.
Bow up.
New pressure. bow
Beautiful
up.
bit of nor'east. Jibe set at the top, mate.
Yeah.
Well, he's on the ley line from there. Well, close too. Not quite, but.
Ollie presents his boat very well.
Oh, it looks great, doesn't it?
Yeah, he does puts a lot of effort into it. It's a real credit to him. Oh, what's he doing? Oh, Ollie, no need to do that stuff, dude.
Well, I don't know.
He might be right. I suppose he's got to get over there at some stage anyway, doesn't he, for the rounding?
That's right. He's going to where he thinks the most wind is. And he can, like, look at Smeg now. Smeg's still got it in nor'east air, east nor'east air. Ollie's going to tack back at the corner of the island.
Yeah, well, that's why I thought he could have executed that tack a little bit later. So this hasn't sailed back with the best pressure, but
Well, if you believe that the correct approach is the port tack ley line, you might as well maximise the extent of that, hadn't you? And he's just tacked, so he thinks he's laying. I think the
yeah, but it's really soft air. He's lost a lot to Smeg, mate, in the last 30 seconds.
but Smeg has to go into behind the highest part of the hill now. There we go. I think you might find it'll even out. Look at Smeg now. Ooh. Ooh. Ooh.
Yeah. Smeg just about to come into new pressure again.
Yeah, so he's got rolling in out of the tack.
Okay, so just about to set up for the final run of this race. Then it'll be a bit of a beat up to the finish. Or no, is it?
It's a run, mate. It's a run.
Yeah, I know that, but then
No. Last run. This is
they
it.
to the finish, yeah.
This is
yeah,
it.
okay, cool.
Finish at Double Bay. About a 1 mile run.
Yep.
So Smeg in not much breeze, still with a minute or so to go to the windward mark.
Yeah, exactly. And Ollie's a few boat lengths away.
And Ollie in some pressure on the Ilve.
Yeah. Smeg setting up for their final tack for their approach.
Ilve laying their short mark. So Ilve will lead by About 90 seconds.
Yeah. Well, they're going to. It's 100 metres in distance, plus they got to the mark earlier. So here we go. Ilve goes.
So Ilve probably done better up that beat than we might have predicted at Warwick. They've
No, they've hung in well.
Yep.
Okay. Smeg's around. So Ilve gets their set done. Smeg in lighter air, just to let you know. Oh, we've got Smeg here, a little bit lighter air than Ilve.
A little bit. Smeg in a vacuum.
And then who'll be around next, Bucko?
Appliances Online will be third. And he's got to go to the top mark.
Yeah.
And
Smeg's still not in as good a pressure as Ilve.
no. Oh, here's the burst. A burst over to our port side. So the wind, Newbury's coming to the fleet, to these guys, from the southern side of the course. Smeg about to get on the face of it, and it will arrive simultaneously for the leader, Ilve. Wow.
Yeah, Smeg now just starting to get pressure.
Rock Ilve going quite down speed there, but now got two strings, so normal sort of
Yeah,
VMG run
for this stuff, yep.
configuration, call it that. And Smeg on the face of the puff very much now.
Yes.
Ilve in the same window effectively now, so
Yep.
barring incidents, you'd expect Ilve will get home from here, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I don't know whether he can. Breeze has been so up and down, and it's, you know, I think it might be his first win, and Smeg's coming at them, whether, you know, keeps his calm head.
Oh, there they go.
Lawrence is around now in third.
Yep. Ilve, pretty nice job.
Yeah, and good pressure out of the jibe, so that's good.
Yeah, he got rolling. Pretty good. We were on Quality Marine for a minute there, which I didn't think was all that relevant.
Breeze all over the place.
Tough day at the office.
Yeah. So, and they've got to get now, Ilve has got to get through this really funky section in good shape.
Well, if the boats fed up track are of any note to us, there's northeast header coming to Ilve, so you'd expect to see him knock down across the bow of Smeg, and they'll be back to inline again.
Yeah.
Well, we've though for Michael Chittenden's benefit, we've found the Rag and Famish. They're punching securely towards the back of the fleet. Now, did you get your money back in the last three, Chits, from the bookie, or what? Chits has gone home, unhappy. Okay.
So now Smeg is just out of shot. It's just got, we're right with them. They've just got a horrible bit of breeze here. And Ilve's out and through. So we'll go and catch up with our leader. So I think that might be enough, Bucko. They've got through that section.
Yeah, they're in the sort of east northeast stream, and just got to get the jibe angle right to the finish. Look at that.
Yeah.
Bow
Now
down.
Smeg's next to us comes into it.
Yeah.
I can see they've got a man down to the boat looking at the jibe angle pressure coming to them. This is not over yet. It's definitely not over yet. So Ilve quite lifted. Now they get a bit of push down. You're going to like that.
You think he's getting close. Look at the angle of the Vintec here on the wind.
Yeah, now they're getting even more pressure. So bow down, it goes even further, and they got better pressure than Smeg at this stage, I can tell you.
Smeg's trying very, very hard for a bit of VMG.
Yeah.
These boats don't run square too well. So Ilve about 500 metres from the finish line
Yeah, pin end looks biased to me.
with a 1 minute advantage, so shouldn't have too much trouble. A bit of navigation going on board. Usually the sheet hand figuring out what the jibe angle is. And Smeg, of course, having a shot at the title, so
Yeah.
Ilve could just jibe and be pretty comfortable, I think, now.
So if Ilve win, it'll be 5 different winners from the first 5 races. What's the pressure like that Smeg's got, Bucko, over your shoulder?
Yeah, Ilve's jibed in the middle of the path, so he's in pretty good condition. And Smeg's not in bad air, but Ilve 1 more jibe, I guess. And Smeg 2 more jibes. Smeg jibes again. Oh. Wash. So
All right, so
we're at the committee boat end of the line on the camera boat, and the drone shot's got the Ilve from to windward.
yeah, so it looks like they're going to secure it. So great job, really good job. Really happy for the boys. They deserved that. They held their nerve. They were fighting with arguably, definitely 2 of the 3 or 4 top boats in the fleet, and they were matching them. So really good.
Look at the Smeg now. Wow, coming on a screamer.
So here we go, Ilve across the line.
And
They'll be happy with
and the
that.
Smeg coming on the face of a new little,
Yeah.
a raining squall, Warwick, I detect.
And
How about that?
there's plenty of pressure coming down.
There is indeed. So first Ilve.
So Smeg, no doubt fastest time, obviously.
Yeah, I mean, a pretty commanding performance from the Smeg.
Absolutely.
In all honesty, they gave a lot back
Every time.
on the run, but they fought their way back in.
Yeah.
So on the Ilve, Oliver Hardis, Pedro Vazzoni and Rob Pollock. Well done, and they looked pretty comfortable today, didn't they?
Yeah, they did. They did. And they weren't panicking. They had little issue out of attack at the bottom mark that last time. Maybe the trapeze wise, but they kept their cool. And look at this this freight train coming in with this new pressure.
Just and only
flying in.
some light rain,
Yeah,
mate.
but all 3 strings overpowered.
Good show.
Dead flat water. Beautiful sailing. Brett Van Munster and the appliances, the Panasonic Lumix, then Finport, Noak Sailing.
Yep. So appliances online will get 3rd, Lumix 4th. Pretty good effort from those 2 guys as well.
Yeah.
Finport 5th.
So they weren't that far behind in the end. This breeze brought them
No,
all back.
a bit of air, bit of pressure, all
Yeah.
good.
And close. The whole pack just
Exactly.
closed up.
Finport 5th, Noak 6th. Triple M saw a bit of greatness and ran from it to some degree. The next.
And Triple M come, and so does the rain. So I think we might call it a day at that.
Let's see if we can get home out of the rain, mate, eh?
Well, I don't think so. It's already here. But anyway, thanks to Aero Media doing the drone shots. Blake, Andrew and Jono. And Blake and Chits, great job. And also a little mention to all the volunteers on the committee boat and the ribs laying down the marks. Always here every week doing a fantastic job. All right, Bucko, that's about it, brother.
All good, thanks, Warwick, and we will escape from the rain, and we'll see you next week.